There's an old saying: the relationship between parents and children is not like the sun and the moon, distant yet eternal, but like the river and the sandbanks, ever-changing and shaped by time. Like a flowing river, this bond constantly evolves, bringing both beauty and challenges as it passes through different stages of life. From the time when a child looks to their parents with innocent eyes for protection to the moment they grow up and seek freedom beyond their parents' embrace. This connection requires continual care, understanding, and love to remain strong. However, the changing times, generational differences, and conflicting perspectives often lead families into conflicts no one wishes for. These tensions often arise from seemingly small matters, a poorly timed comment or a difficult decision, but they can carry deep significance. Take, for instance, the story of the Williams family. Their disagreements were not only about money, but reflected profound differences in lifestyle and values between generations. This isn't just their story, it's a universal challenge that any family might face. Richard Williams, a man in his 70s, spent his entire life working hard in the lumber industry. He and his wife, Mary, lived a simple and frugal lifestyle. Over the years, they saved a considerable amount of money, which they saw as a solid financial shield for their old age. To them, savings should be kept safe in the bank or invested in tangible, stable assets like real estate. For Richard and Mary, stability and security were top priorities. Their only son, Adam, saw finances in a completely different light. At 35, Adam was a financial analyst who believed that letting money sit idle in a bank was a waste. He closely followed the stock market, cryptocurrency, and explored new, exciting investment opportunities. To Adam, investing was the smartest way to grow wealth and achieve financial freedom. One evening, Adam decided to visit his parents to convince them to invest their savings in some funds he believed would bring higher returns. He said to Richard, "Dad, I think your savings are going to waste just sitting in the bank with such a low interest rate. I've done my research and found some reputable, stable investment funds with decent returns. You should consider moving your money there to make it work for you." Richard put his newspaper down on the table, looked at Adam, and responded sternly, "Adam, I've lived through many market ups and downs, from recessions to crises. Your mom and I saved this money to secure our old age. I don't want to risk losing everything just for a few percentage points of profit." Adam didn't give up and tried to explain further. "Dad, I understand you're worried about risk, but things are different now. With modern technology and data analysis, I can manage risk much better. Investing is a way to make our money work, instead of letting it lose value over time because of inflation." Richard's response was even more resolute. "You're young, and that's why you're willing to take risks like that. Your mom and I have gone through too much change and don't want to gamble away a lifetime of savings. For us, safety is the most important thing." The conversation dragged on with arguments back and forth, eventually turning into a heated debate. Adam felt his parents were too conservative and out of touch with modern finance, while Richard thought his son was reckless and didn't understand the value of safety and frugality. Mary, who was sitting quietly by their side, tried to intervene gently. "Adam, we know you mean well and want to help, but you need to understand that your dad and I have our own views on money. We need peace of mind and don't want to worry about the risks you're talking about." However, Mary's words weren't enough to ease the tension. Adam, deeply believing in his investment philosophy, couldn't accept that his parents were keeping their money uselessly. He left feeling frustrated and upset, while Richard and Mary sat quietly in the living room, pondering the vast differences between the two generations. Dear friends, the story above is just a small glimpse into the broader picture of conflicts between parents and their children. In life, such disagreements happen frequently and in many forms, reflecting differences in generations, perspectives, and expectations. The elderly always wish for peace and happiness in their family. But how can they maintain a harmonious home? And how can the bond between parents and children stay close and loving? Let's explore the deeper causes and potential solutions for building a strong relationship between the two generations. 1. understanding generational differences, and embracing diversity. Effective communication between parents and children can exist without understanding generational differences. Each generation grows up in a different cultural, social, and technological context, which deeply shapes their thinking, values, and view of life. Older people tend to value stability, tradition, and discipline, values they've accumulated over many years. Meanwhile, younger generations grow up in a constantly changing world, exposed to modern technology and new trends, often carrying different beliefs and values. This difference isn't just about age, but about experiences and approaches to life. Older individuals often view things through the lens of experience and, as a result, wish to pass down their life lessons to their children. However, this may make their children feel as if they're being imposed upon or that their freedom and independence in decision-making aren't respected. To communicate effectively, one must first recognize that generational differences aren't a barrier, but a diversity to be respected. Instead of seeing everything from one's own perspective, both parents and children need to learn to listen and see things from the other's point of view. For older adults, this means trying to understand the challenges, dreams, and life perspectives of their children rather than imposing their own beliefs. This understanding not only helps build trust, but also creates a space for both sides to share and learn from one another. 2. Active listening and empathy. In any relationship, listening is the key to effective communication, especially when it comes to the bond between elderly parents and their adult children. However, listening isn't just about hearing what the other person says. It's about understanding the emotions, perspectives, and thoughts behind those words. Active listening and empathy require patience and a genuine interest in what the other person wants to share. What does active listening mean? It's not just sitting quietly while someone talks. It's truly focusing on their story, not interrupting, not judging, and not preparing your own response while they speak. Older parents often have a tendency to interject or offer advice immediately when their children are sharing, because they want to help or guide based on their own experiences. However, these uninvited pieces of advice can sometimes make children feel misunderstood or dismissed. One way to practice active listening is to give your full attention to what your child is saying. Respond with encouraging gestures like nodding, maintain eye contact, or ask open-ended questions to understand more. This creates a safe space, making your child feel heard and respected. Active listening helps not only to understand the issues your child is facing, but also builds trust and strengthens the bond between parent and child. Why is empathy important? Empathy is the ability to put yourself in someone else's shoes and understand their feelings. Given the differences in experiences and circumstances, it can be challenging for parents and children to truly empathize with each other. However, empathy doesn't require full agreement with the other person. It's about genuinely understanding their feelings and perspective. For example, if your child is feeling stressed about work or family, instead of jumping in with advice right away, a parent might show empathy by saying, "I know this isn't easy for you. I'm really sorry you're going through these tough times." These simple but sincere words can make your child feel comforted and create a deeper connection with you. The benefits of active listening and empathy. When parents actively listen and show empathy, their children feel respected, supported, and are less likely to feel judged or criticized. This opens up a comfortable space for communication, encouraging children to share their thoughts and emotions without fear of being misunderstood or criticized. On the contrary, when children feel like their parents don't understand or care about what they're saying, they tend to withdraw, leading to a greater gap between the two generations. Active listening and empathy not only help resolve conflicts more effectively, but also foster a deep understanding and connection in the parent-child relationship. It is the foundation of a harmonious and lasting family bond. 3. Sharing life experiences without being overbearing. The life experiences of the elderly are valuable lessons, but how they're shared can make all the difference. Instead of giving rigid advice or imposing rules, share your experiences as personal stories. This allows children to make their own decisions based on their unique circumstances, avoiding the feeling of being pressured. Take Ellen, for instance, who was proud of how she raised her two sons and believed that her experiences would be helpful in caring for her grandson, Ethan. When Ethan was born, Ellen moved in with her son Michael's family to help care for the baby. Initially, everything went smoothly. Ellen enjoyed helping with housework and looking after her grandson, giving her daughter-in-law, Jenna, some much-needed rest. But soon, generational differences in parenting styles began to surface. One day, when Ethan was 7 months old, Ellen gave him a small piece of cake after lunch. She thought the sweetness would excite his taste buds and make him eat better. She had done this with her own children, and they both grew up healthy. However, when Jenna found out, she immediately objected. "Mom, Ethan is still young, and his digestive system isn't used to sugar. I don't want him eating sweets this early." Ellen responded, "Jenna, it's just a little cake. It won't hurt. When Michael was a baby, I did the same thing, and he loved it. Trust me, I know how to take care of children." Jenna felt pressured, as her mother-in-law insisted that her own experience was correct. Jenna believed in modern parenting, prioritizing healthy foods and wanting control over her son's diet. At times, she felt like Ellen wasn't respecting her decisions as a mother. The disagreements continued into the evening. When Ethan wouldn't settle down to sleep, Ellen wanted to pick him up and rock him, believing that a soothing lullaby and a comforting embrace were the best ways to help a baby feel secure. But Jenna wanted Ethan to fall asleep on his own, to encourage independence from a young age. "Mom, Ethan needs to learn to sleep without being rocked. I really want to get him into that habit," she explained. Ellen, with all her love and desire to help, felt like her advice was being ignored. She firmly said, "But Ethan's crying. Jenna, let me pick him up. Babies shouldn't cry for too long. I know you want what's best for him, but let me do it my way, and he'll sleep just fine." These differences gradually turned into tense discussions, leaving both Ellen and Jenna feeling stressed. Jenna didn't want her mother-in-law to impose her views on how to raise Ethan, while Ellen felt like her daughter-in-law wasn't listening to her experience and care. This is a classic example of how sharing life experiences needs to be done with sensitivity. When parents share experiences with an overbearing tone, as if it's the only right way, it can make their children feel unheard or that their personal decisions aren't being respected. For example, when parents say, "I've lived long enough to know what's best for you," or "You should do it the way I did, because that's the right way," children may feel like their ability to make their own decisions is not trusted. This can lead them to become defensive, stubborn, or even push back against their parents' advice rather than listen and learn from it. Sharing experiences openly and without being overbearing, instead of telling children what they should or must do, parents should try to share their experiences as stories or personal lessons. Speak as a friend sharing thoughts, with openness and an invitation for the child to draw their own conclusions. For example, rather than saying, "You need to save money because you never know when you'll need it," a parent could say, "We went through tough financial times once, and we learned that having some savings really helped us get through those moments." The difference lies in the approach. It doesn't force children to follow, but gives them the chance to reflect and decide if the lesson fits their situation. This makes children more comfortable in receiving advice and helps parents avoid being seen as overbearing or overly involved in their lives. 4. Understanding and adjusting communication approaches. Communication between parents and their children isn't just about exchanging information. It's about understanding the other person's psychology and emotions. To communicate effectively, older parents need to adjust their approach and tone to fit their children's perspectives, especially since the younger generation grows up with different values, lifestyles, and language. Understanding the emotions and needs of your children. For older parents, sometimes their children's views on life, work, or relationships might be completely different from what they've experienced. This can lead to misunderstandings and conflicts if parents don't try to see things from their child's perspective, instead of relying solely on their own experience to give advice or rebuttal. Parents should put themselves in their children's shoes. listen sincerely, and better understand what they're going through. It could be work pressures, complicated relationships, or societal changes that the older generation may have never faced. Adjusting communication style accordingly. Asterisk how a message is conveyed matters a lot in communication. Speaking harshly, passing judgment, or being overly critical can make children feel hurt and unwilling to open up. Instead, parents should use gentle words and avoid assertive statements like, "We know better than you," or "This is the right way to do it." Such phrases can provoke feelings of resentment and make children feel disrespected. Instead, parents can adjust their approach to communicate more openly and connect better. For example, instead of saying, "You never make time for family," try saying, "We miss you and would love to spend more time together." This small change shifts the focus to feelings and desires, rather than blame, helping the child feel less accused or pressured. Choosing the right time and place. Sometimes. Timing and context can greatly affect the outcome of a conversation. If the child is stressed or busy, starting a serious discussion can make them defensive or avoidant. Instead, choose a time when both parties are relaxed and free from work distractions, creating an environment for open and sincere sharing. Understanding and adjusting communication approaches help create a comfortable environment where parents and children can discuss opinions constructively and find solutions together. This not only minimizes conflicts, but also strengthens the bond and love within the family. 5. Being open-minded and flexible in perspective. One of the key factors in communicating effectively with children is for older parents to be open-minded and flexible in their viewpoints. This means embracing changes, learning to accept, and understanding that every generation has its own values, ways of thinking, and lifestyles. Flexibility in perspective helps build a bridge between parents and children, allowing both sides to learn from each other, embracing changes in lifestyle and mindset. The younger generation today grows up in a rapidly evolving world in terms of technology, culture, and approaches to life. What mattered to their parents' generation, such as job stability, traditional values, or a frugal lifestyle, may not be a priority for their children. Being open to accepting these differences is the first step to reducing tension and conflict. For instance, children might want to pursue a creative career, start their own business, or live a minimalist lifestyle without investing much in purchasing homes or cars like their parents did. While this may cause parents to worry or disagree, instead of strongly opposing, they can open their minds to understand the reasons and motivations behind these choices. Learning from children and being flexible in viewpoint. Being open-minded doesn't mean giving up one's own values, but being willing to listen, learn, and accept that differences can be positive. Children can bring fresh ideas, creative life perspectives, and modern skills that the older generation may not have experienced. Flexibility in viewpoint means being willing to learn from your children, sharing experiences, and exchanging ideas to understand each other better. Encouraging independence and creativity, instead of trying to mold their children into old-fashioned patterns or fearing the changes the younger generation is experiencing. Parents should see it as an opportunity to encourage creativity, independence, and personal growth. This helps children feel trusted and allows parents to see the world from a different angle, opening up new and positive ways of thinking, creating an environment of respect and understanding. When parents are open-minded and flexible, it builds a communication environment based on respect and understanding. Instead of trying to prove whose perspective is right or wrong, focus on creating a space where both parents and children can share their thoughts, desires, and values equally. This helps both generations connect better, understand each other more, and minimize conflicts. Being open-minded and flexible helps foster harmony within the family, creating a foundation for both parents and children to grow, learn, and respect one another. It's a crucial step towards establishing a lasting relationship and effective communication between generations. 6. Maintaining healthy boundaries and respecting privacy. In any relationship, respecting each other's personal space is important. especially in the relationship between parents and their children. As children grow older, they need to lead their own lives, make independent decisions, and manage their lives. Older parents should learn how to maintain a healthy distance without overly interfering in their children's private lives. While also respecting the privacy, their children need to balance their personal life and relationships, understanding that children have their own lives. When children step into marriage or start their own careers, they face many pressures from work, finances to family care. While parents want to help and support, it's essential to understand that sometimes children need time and space to handle their own issues. Constantly asking questions, giving advice, or wanting to intervene can make children feel pressured and that their personal lives are being invaded. Maintaining a healthy distance without creating alienation. Keeping a healthy distance doesn't mean giving up the role of being a parent or caring less about your children. It's about balancing concern with non-interference. For example, instead of calling every day to ask about every detail of their lives, check in periodically and let children share what they want. This helps create comfort and prevents them from feeling controlled. Respecting children's right to make their own decisions. Older parents often want to provide guidance and direction based on their life experience. However, children have the right to make their own decisions in life, even if those decisions differ from their parents' wishes. Rather than criticizing or insisting that children follow their advice, parents should encourage independence and trust their children's ability to make their own choices. Building a relationship based on respect and understanding. When parents respect their children's privacy, it creates a relationship founded on mutual trust and respect. Children will feel more comfortable sharing their joys and challenges without fear of being judged or controlled. This not only strengthens family relationships, but also allows both sides to maintain balance in their personal lives. Maintaining healthy boundaries and respecting privacy not only reduces conflicts, but also provides a foundation for parents and children to develop a relationship based on understanding, respect, and genuine love. This is an essential factor for maintaining a happy and harmonious family across generations. 7. Focusing on family bonds over conflict. When parents and children have differing opinions, it's easy for disagreements to escalate into heated arguments. However, it's important to remember that the shared goal for both sides isn't to win each debate, but to maintain a warm, connected family relationship. Prioritizing family bonds over conflicts not only reduces tension, but also promotes closeness and love within the family. Putting family first and not letting arguments damage relationships. Parents and children often argue about things they both care deeply about. But when too much focus is placed on defending personal views, it's easy to forget that the family relationship is what matters most. Rather than seeing debates as opportunities to prove who's right or wrong, view them as chances to understand each other's perspectives and find harmonious solutions that preserve family feelings. Shifting the focus to solutions. One way to focus on family bonds instead of conflict is to change how you see the problem. Rather than viewing disagreements as barriers, see them as opportunities to work together to find the best solution for both parties. If children want to do things their way, instead of objecting, discuss with them to find common ground or a compromise. This not only reduces tension, but also encourages mutual understanding. Maintaining patience and understanding. When arguing, learn to control emotions and avoid using harsh words or placing blame. Keep a gentle tone, show patience, and genuinely listen. This helps create a calm atmosphere and reduces tension in communication. Saying something like, "I understand you want to try something new. I'm just worried about you," can have a far more positive effect than a blaming statement like, "You always do the opposite of what I say." Creating opportunities to show affection and strengthen family bonds. Look for special occasions or small moments in everyday life to express affection for your children. Whether through a family meal, a phone call, or words of encouragement, these small actions help build strong family bonds and create a positive space for communication. When parents and children feel close, understanding and empathy come more easily, and conflicts are resolved more gently. 8. Acceptance and unconditional love. In a family relationship, unconditional love is the foundation for building deep and lasting connections. When parents and children accept each other with all their strengths, weaknesses, and individual differences, they create a safe and loving space where every member can be their true self. Acceptance doesn't mean agreeing with every decision your child makes, but rather respecting their choices, even if they differ from your expectations. Loving without conditions. Unconditional love means children don't have to earn or meet the standards set by their parents to be loved and accepted. This creates freedom in the relationship, where children can open up about their joys, sorrows, and even failures without fear of judgment or disappointment. Parents can reassure their children by saying, "No matter what decision you make, we love you and are always here to support you." Accepting children with all their differences. As children grow up, they develop perspectives, lifestyles, and goals that may differ from their parents. These differences can lead to conflicts, but accepting and respecting them is a true expression of unconditional love. This doesn't mean parents have to agree with everything, but rather choose to listen and understand their child's point of view instead of opposing or criticizing. Love doesn't mean agreeing with everything. In a healthy family relationship, parents can show love even when they don't agree with their child's decisions. Instead of reacting emotionally or imposing their views, parents can show support and trust, even if their child takes a different path. This creates an open and genuine relationship where children feel loved regardless of the situation, helping children feel loved and supported. When parents love and accept their children unconditionally, it gives them greater confidence to face life's challenges. Unconditional love helps children develop problem-solving skills and independence, knowing their parents will always be there for them, whether they succeed or fail. This provides a powerful source of strength and motivation for children in all their decisions and actions. 9. Building meaningful family traditions. Family traditions are activities, rituals, or habits that are repeated over time, carrying spiritual value and fostering deep connections among family members. Creating meaningful family traditions is an effective way to bond parents and children, regardless of generational differences or potential conflicts. These traditions create memories, bring a sense of closeness, and help maintain the family bond over the years, creating spaces for sharing and bonding. Family traditions can be as simple as weekly dinners together, weekend outings, or special holidays where all members participate. These are times when everyone can sit together, set aside the busyness of life, and focus on sharing, talking, and enjoying family time. Such moments provide opportunities for parents and children to connect, share joys, relieve stress, and fully feel the warmth of family love, connecting generations through memories. Family traditions also have the power to connect generations, preserving and passing on spiritual values from parents to children. For instance, family stories told repeatedly during holidays, traditional recipes prepared together, or small rituals like decorating the Christmas tree help maintain the cultural and traditional bonds within the family. Adapting and creating new traditions. Every family has its unique style and way of living, and there is no need to stick to old or outdated traditions. The key is to create new traditions that both parents and children enjoy and feel connected to. For example, if the children enjoy outdoor activities, the family can establish a tradition of walking in the park on Sunday mornings. If the parents love reading, a monthly family book night can be arranged. Creating new traditions allows both generations to participate and find meaning. Keeping traditions flexible. Family traditions don't need to be rigid. They can be adjusted in terms of timing, manner, or frequency to match everyone's schedules and preferences. This makes traditions sustainable, easy to follow, and free from pressure for family members. The most important thing is the spiritual value of the tradition, the time everyone spends together, and the feeling of family connection, creating memorable moments for the whole family. Family traditions not only bring joy and connection in the present, but also create lasting memories throughout life. They become stories that children can share when they grow up, warm memories of the love and bond that parents and family have shared. Building and maintaining meaningful family traditions is a wonderful way to promote closeness between parents and children, helping both generations experience precious moments and build a strong family relationship full of love and understanding. Dear friends, effective communication with your children is not just a skill, but a lifelong journey of understanding, patience, and unconditional love. When parents learn to truly listen, respect their children's personal space, and share openly and sincerely, the bond between generations becomes closer and stronger. Life may bring challenges and differences, but the love of family is the most powerful connection, capable of overcoming any obstacle. With empathy, openness, and flexibility, parents and children can not only improve their communication, but also build a relationship filled with love, understanding, and lasting happiness. Always remember that every effort to nurture family relationships is worthwhile. Sometimes, even the smallest gesture or the simplest heartfelt words can create incredible change. If you found this content helpful and inspiring, please share your thoughts in the comments below. Your feedback is very important to us and can inspire others as well. Thank you for taking the time to watch. And don't forget to hit subscribe so you won't miss any of our meaningful content in the future. Take care, and see you in the next video.